present, or future, the City of Dillon has a rich heritage. Join us now for Down Home Dillon, where we will focus on our history, present accomplishments, and the future of our great city. Welcome to Down Home Dillon.
Good morning. Welcome to Down Home Dillon. I'm Todd Davis. Have a good friend of mine as a guest today. I know very well Mr. Glenn Wagner. Glenn, how are you?
Good, Todd. Thank you for having me.
Good, good. We're fortunate to have Glenn today. Sometimes, he's like me. He don't like that camera very much either. I think we were both born that way. But we got some things to talk about as we're gearing up for the new year and winding down 2019, and we'll do that when we come right back.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Welcome back, everybody. Glenn, I guess being a new year and people make the new year resolutions, and your traffic at the wellness center picks up.
It does. January and February to March is our busiest times. Mm-hmm. People are getting ready for the beach season.
Right.
So we always have an increase in population at the wellness center, whether it's walking or utilizing the fitness center.
Well, what are we doing? Every year we have specials, and you gotten to the point where it's so affordable out there. Honestly, I don't even know if you need to do a particular type special or incentive to get people there. It's probably one of the more affordable places to go into PD for the equipment and how nice the place is. Are we doing anything different for, say, the month of January or the first quarter of the year or what have you?
Well, we'll offer now, actually beginning on today, December 20th, through January of 2020, a special for individual membership. I think right now the charge is $30 a month. Mm-hmm. If you go in and register now between today and January 30th of 2020, it decreases to $25 a month for individual membership.
Can't beat it.
No, you can't. I mean, it's again, it is a good cost or a good price for people to utilize and get healthy.
Right. Now, out there, how's the sauna been? I mean, I used to go in there.
The sauna is still a good thing to have. People use it all the time. In fact, I ran into someone the other day that was coming out of it, and I said, "How things going?" And they were stopped up. I mean, they had this head cold, and that was the reason they were in there, because it opened up their head cold.
That's right.
But it's used a good bit. It's a positive for the facility.
Now, back when I used to go every day, there were classes. Are classes still going on out there?
Yeah, we still have exercise classes, not as many as we once had. We have spinning classes and other type of aerobic classes, boot camps that Miriam Hayes and Michelle Moody teaches for us.
All right, so you still got some personal trainers too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know some of them at spinned off. We got, being that Dillon's growing some, we have other avenues. There's other places to go, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Oh, no, it's not. In fact, the Fitness World, I believe is what it's called here in town now. They're a great bunch of people there. I've met the owner on several occasions. We love his business here. People say, well, it's competition. No, it's not. He's paying property taxes. He's paying business license. We want people to grow.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, y'all come on out to the Wellness Center. You got an indoor track out there. You have an outdoor track. So if you want to walk, I know it's tough. I went out the other day in this cold weather. It's windy. I should have went and walked inside the Wellness Center. And the springtime and summertime, well, spring and fall, outside, I can't handle the heat. So if it's very hot or very cold, you got a nice track inside there, or just come on in and go on the treadmill or whatever else you got to do. When did we built that Wellness Center, I think, in 2007?
It opened in 2007.
2007.
Actually, we started construction in December of 2005.
Okay.
Is when we started construction.
So, I don't want to put you on the spot here. That facility will probably be paid off in the next 5 years.
We have 4 or 5 annual payments left. That is correct.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. And a lot of things to do out there. I know y'all do movie night and all the baseball teams we host for tournaments out there. It's just been a godsend for the city of Dillon and Dillon County in general. So haven't been out there, come on. I know you've been out there one time or another because of all the events that are held there throughout the year. So it's a new year. If you want to make a new commitment to your health, come on out at the City of Dillon Wellness Center. They'll welcome you with open arms and you'll be glad you did that. We're going to take a short break and be right back in just a moment.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Okay, we're back on this cool day in December as we wind down 2019 going into the new year. Let's kind of freelance this a little bit, Glenn. I know I was walking to the post office yesterday from my office right down Main Street, and I noticed 8 buildings that are being worked on downtown, all on the west side of Main. You got 3 close to Ace Hardware that I noticed, 2 on the other side that me and 2 other guys are doing. The old Kintyre house, they're fixing that or doing something with the roof or the awning area over that. Jonathan McLeod on the old pharmacy. Even though I think it was 8 of them. So it's kind of a small renaissance that I emailed you and somebody else the other day. A little renaissance coming up on downtown on buildings.
Yeah, we've had a push here lately. Ms. Tammy Berry.
Yeah.
She bought 2 buildings or so here on West Main. 3, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And she's doing some renovations there to open up a bakery, a grill.
Right.
So I think that spurs something else along.
Right.
You and some of your partners have purchased a building there on Main Street looking to do some things there. In fact, on the way here this morning, I noticed that we're working on the roof there.
Should finish today.
You mentioned the old pharmacy there that Jonathan McLeod's gotten. He's starting to do more work on that building, which is going to take a lot more because he had to gut that building. And then on the east side of Main, across the railroad tracks, there's 2 buildings that's being renovated as we speak. Stephanie Mitchell, that owns GG and Docks, she purchased the old building beside Council on Aging.
Yeah, that got gutted too.
Yeah, that one was good. She is in the process of now having that demolished and building something back there. A restaurant is my understanding. And then across the street, I believe Alan Watts has bought 2 or 3 buildings that he's renovating. So it's starting to pick up. We have several buildings in town that need work.
Yeah.
Not only on the exterior but in the interior. But I think the property owners and the business owners are seeing that it's something that they need to do, and we love to see downtown grow.
Yeah, I tell somebody, there's only, really with Dillon, there's only one way to go. I hate to say that, but there's only one direction to go, that's up.
Absolutely.
We kind of hit the bottom downtown. I called you, or I texted you the other night, and another fella, ABC News had something on ESPN that they were going to run at 11 o'clock. It's local ABC News, and it was called, and it piqued my attention, Millennial Business Owners and Shoppers Changing Downtown.
And they are.
They are, and I stayed up and listened to that. In fact, you can go on their website and look at that video again. They featured 2 or 3 small business owners, 2 in Conway and 1 in Marion. And these were young millennials, 20-year-olds, starting a niche type business, because they say that's what's going to draw the new crowd, or is a niche product that's hard to get. And Conway has just had a just unbelievable on what's happened in Conway with the Riverwalk and everything. And Marion too has done well, and also Mullins. We got to get some of that here.
That is our goal. When you were a mayor, we decided to try to find something to help downtown grow, and we felt like at the time that we needed someone on staff to kind of spearhead that. We're going into our second year in January with that position and that program, and hopefully it's starting to gain some traction to get some things there. In fact, we just received a grant through the Municipal Association of about $25,000 to do a downtown master plan or study to help us realize what we have and maybe how to get someone here to do some businesses in town. So that process is beginning now. It takes about 9 to 10 months. There will be meetings held with the public, with council and staff during that time period to get feedback.
Well, you got to have a draw. I always said when I was a mayor, you got to have a catalyst downtown. Still don't have one yet. I'm hoping one will come. These old buildings, they're tough. Those two that we're doing is actually three doors on the front. You can actually have 3 offices or 3 different properties there. We're going to have to absolutely gut the inside out. And we're excited about it, though. We really are. We aren't excited about how much money we're going to have to spend, most likely, but we think our idea is to put a type of a spec building concept on Main and go from there. So we're excited about it. We look forward to it, and you got to have a start. You have a draw downtown, it'll spur the other things. I remember back with the school kids graduating this past year, the Christian school, they had to go to Florence to go out for their graduation dinner that night, and went to Percy and Willie's, got to Percy and Willie's, they couldn't get in there and went somewhere else. They don't need to go to Florence.
No, we need to keep them in town. and not just those folks, but everybody that live in Dillon and Dillon County. We need to keep them local, keep the tax dollars here. I know it's great to go to other places, Lumberton, Florence, Myrtle Beach, or whatever it may be, because there are a lot more things to offer. But we're getting there. One of the things that council did, and we discussed it while you were mayor, we've offered incentives now. We just passed an ordinance first of this month to offer incentives for new businesses, not just downtown, but within the city limits of Dillon. And these incentives are very simple. It saves them money to some degree, whether it's hospitality fees that we reduce over a period of time, business license fees that we may reduce over a period of time. So there's things that the city council is trying to do to promote growth.
Dillon's wide open. Is wide open for something for people to go to. There's enough. Go to Florence, I would venture to say you got 200 restaurants in Florence. At least, if not more. Here, other than Radford, and of course you got a Sunday buffet place. I don't hate to list things because I leave them out, but if somebody comes in here and opens up a nice evening restaurant or entertainment, it is just wide open for you. You don't have to split it with anybody. It's all here for you. And you got to put the risk in. You got to take the risk. That's what it's all about, is taking risk. If you don't do it, nothing's going to come here. So we appreciate the people taking a risk. That's one thing I like to say, and what I appreciate when you go out and take the risk of doing it. We'll talk about this and a little more coming up on the last segment of Down Home Dillon.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Welcome back. Glenn and I were just talking about our enthusiasm, for a lack of a better word, for the city of Dillon and what we can do downtown and where that's heading in 2020. I think that's the year you're going to see a big transformation on Main Street, is 2020. I know y'all stopped the in-house grants rehab grants. Hopefully that'll come back one day. You still got the grants for the facades
Yes.
and stuff on your buildings. That's, people are taking advantage of those. Dillon is blessed with I use this word, a renaissance of jobs due to the port. Probably more so than any county around us other than Florence. We probably have in that regard on industry and the storage business and so forth, the distribution business, than anybody else. Marion County, Marlboro County, Dillon has it more going for it with that than any other county around us. And I know those counties too will benefit from the port. Marion County is only a skip from the port, so there's nothing's going to stop Marion from taking advantage of it, or Marlboro either. But it is in our backyard. Where we're lacking is back to getting new people here and giving them a valid reason to stay. And that's the whole thing back to the golf course. I'm not going to get into the golf course or the wellness center is why the city does these type of things. But we need something to do for people to go out on Friday night, Saturday night, what have you, without having to get on I-95, not knowing if you're going to get stuck in traffic going over there during the weekend.
Yeah, 95 can be tough whether it's day or night. You're always seeing some sort of delay, whether they're working on it or wrecks.
Right. My wife has her little group, her ladies' night out, and a lot of times they'll go to the Peddler.
Which is, is a hidden gem in Dillon County.
Yeah, it's great,
It
great.
really
And
is.
that's a great place for them to go, but that's one of the few places there is to go. So you just need some other options around here. I'm a firm believer in competition brings everybody up. Always have been, and that's proven to be true. One thing, and you may not know this, but I was going to ask you, we did land a Starbucks.
We did, and they're in the process of construction now.
Yeah.
I think they're delayed at this point in time because the sub that was here doing the grading and the paving work, he's done what he's got to do, waiting on the next sub to come in.
Okay,
So,
that's what I was going to ask you, what the holdup was, because I know I haven't seen any activity out there. They went very fast initially, clearing the lot and putting in the infrastructure underground, the pipes and stuff, it looked like, but in the last 10 days or so, I haven't seen anything. So,
and usually projects like that, they'll have a hire a general contractor who then subs out different work for that process. So they're just waiting for the next sub to begin his work.
Right, okay, well good. So somebody asked me that the other day, inboxed me, said, Todd, what's going on with Starbucks? I said, they're still coming. I just didn't know what the issue was. But when you're dealing with construction and subcontractors and contractors, that's a norm. That's not the exception, that's a norm on delays. Last thing, I know you got something you want to bring up. I've been watching your city council meetings, and I know right now a lot of your meeting time is in the subject area of traffic patterns.
Yes.
In the city. I think one of the things I thought was a good idea was going down Main Street from the depot toward King's Pizza in that direction, which would be heading east. Y'all are looking to maybe consider two-laning MacArthur Avenue south.
Yeah, from Calhoun Street to Main Street
On MacArthur.
On South MacArthur. We're just actually agreed to that this past monthly meeting,
Right.
which we start doing something hopefully the 1st of January, which is going to be simple to do there. We just got to paint some lines. I think there's a planter that we'll take out at the corner of South MacArthur and Main, and which will then make that one-way street two-way from Main Street to Calhoun
Right.
Street.
And what that'll do, people heading down Main Street, heading east, when you get around the light at King's Pizza, they can take that right turn there on MacArthur rather than going on down and making the right turn. And I've hit that stop sign every day 3 or 4 times. Personally, I don't have a problem. I may get backed up every now and then, but nothing really to be concerned with. It's not a huge problem.
It's not
a
just
huge problem.
It just opens up a
little
more avenues there. Main Street and vast majority of the streets actually in the city are owned by DOT and not by the city.
Right.
We do own a few, South MacArthur Avenue being one, so there's some things that we can do without DOT getting involved.
Right.
But when you have streets that are owned by DOT, you have to get their approval, and some things they don't want to do, and it makes sense why they want to do things they have a better idea of traffic flow and how to design things than we do.
Yep, they're in the business.
They're
with
in
that.
the business.
And
That's
we are.
correct.
That's true. So, you might see that. I came into the work the other morning down 301 and took a right on Main. I stopped at that stoplight on 301 and Main Street, and I just noticed all the cars coming from the east from Lakeview coming through Dillon, going to work.
Yes.
Just an ungodly amount of traffic. It really was, and that's going to get more and more prevalent as the spec building that I understand has been bought or contract on, the new spec building out at the industrial park, and all the expansion going on everywhere. I know Glenn's got a couple things he wants to wrap up, and I do too. One of them is, you mentioned to me something about some events coming up that you want to bring up.
We've got this in December. We had our Christmas tree lighting, third annual Christmas tree lighting, which was probably the largest one we've had, and a good product for everyone there. We're looking forward to next year's and doing some things different maybe, but keeping it during the week nights. I think that's worked better than on the weekend.
It does.
Because people like to go places on Saturday, but it'd be nice to keep them in town. But you go Christmas shopping, whatever. But we also got coming up, I think it's the 3rd or 4th annual St. Patty's Day event, the 14th of March. And this is going to be another good event to draw people downtown. And that was the whole idea of doing things here at the plaza, the South Plaza there off of Railroad Avenue, is drawing people downtown to not only get them to go buy locally, but to socialize downtown as well. But this year, St. Patty's Day, we're adding another event to it, which was the chili cook-off.
Oh, okay.
That the Humane Society and the city kind of does together during November, but it got rained out this year, so we've moved it to St. Patty's Day weekend to do that downtown instead of at the Wellness Center. Looking forward to it. I think that'll draw even more people down into downtown area, and that's what we want. We want to do things downtown as much as possible. Right.
I remember when I was mayor, I just hammered downtown and events, and the city was all behind me on it, and so those things are carrying on. So people can put them on their calendar every year and go from there. And what cities are supposed to do.
Yeah, and speaking of calendars, and we have here in the last 6 to 9 months, we've gotten more committed to Facebook. And more committed to our websites. And websites are great, but they're not what social media is today. So, like us on Facebook, City of Dillon Parks and Recreation, City of Dillon Police Department. Like us on those, and you can find all kind of information of several events that's coming up or other things that may be coming up, whether it's a special event or just a notification that garbage may be delayed due to such and such. We try to post that stuff on Facebook and get that information out. So. And
before we go for our last break, one thing, any plans on the city moving any departments, or is that still in the works?
We're at City Halls or City County Complex, we are in tight space there. That building was built in the mid-'70s. We share that with county offices, and the county and the city over the years, 40 some odd years have grown in staff for different things. So there's some needs that we've got to look into, and there's a possibility of relocating some things here in the near future. It may be 12 months to 24 months before that's done.
Yeah, more to come on that later then. Okay. We're going to take our last break and come back with a very short segment and wrap up, so y'all hang tight. We'll be right back.
Experience true Southern hospitality. Enjoy an unforgettable day of golf and warm up your game right here in your own backyard at the newly renovated City of Dillon Municipal Golf Course, formerly Twin Lakes. If you haven't shot around here recently, you should give it a try. With 18 holes for $18 every Thursday, value is in the bag. Memberships are available and no tee time required, but call ahead anyway. We'll get a cart ready for you.
Welcome back down home, Dillon. We pretty much wrapped up. It's been great having Glenn here today. I'm going to end on kind of a somber note, but also a celebration of life note. Dillon recently lost J.W. Bailey, who was part of the fire department who I absolutely lift up every time I get a chance. I think he was on the fire department. I don't know exactly how many years, but it's right around 57 years. That's a long time to be on the fire department, and he participated with every aspect of the fire department too. So we're going to remember he and his family. Also, Mr. A.B. Jordan left us a week or so ago, and he was a stalwart in our county with Herald Office Supply.
The Dillon Herald?
Dillon Herald. Christmas season brings out a lot of good times. It also brings some tough times for family members that are sick, in the hospital, or who have gone on. And we're thinking about all those we know about, and we would love to mention all that we know about. Let me close on this. These things, crime doesn't just happen in the city of Dillon. It's all over today, unfortunately. But if you know any way or any way that you can help the local police department or the sheriff's department solving some of these crimes, it's up to you out there in the community to help us out. So help the city of Dillon Police Department, the Dillon County Sheriff's Department, SLED, whoever, if you can give a hand on getting some of these people off the street or causing problems, we would certainly appreciate it. With that said, Glenn, I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, just I don't know when this is going to air, but wish everyone a Merry Christmas and
Happy New Year.
Enjoy holidays during the time.
Yeah, have a great New Year. We look forward to seeing you on Down Home Dillon in 2020 going forward. It's tough to say 2020, but we're already there. Y'all have a great rest of 2019. I look forward to seeing you next year on Down Home Dillon.